Good morning, my people, and welcome to another video in the Music Theory for Beginners course. It's your instructor, Cody Wyman. In this course, or in this lecture, we're going to discuss a lot about the different value notes that you will find in music. And note, these are basic values. These are the core values that you will come into with any beginning music theory course, with any course that is intro. Now there are advanced stuff, but that is either later on in the course or in some subsequent other music theory courses that will be coming up soon. But at this course, or in these few lessons, we're going to learn about basic note values. Now the first basic note value we're going to learn is the whole note. Now this whole note here is basically referred to as the long tone, and normally music is divided up into 4 different beats in each measure. Sometimes it's different, but for this example we'll use 4. So in this case, the whole note is 4 counts. Now you're asking me, how come it's 4 and not 3? Well, in time signature land, which is another subject of this course that we will get to in a little bit, time signature is what governs the ebb and flow of the amount of beats in a particular measure and what note value gets the beat. The top number of the time signature tells you how many beats are in the measure. The bottom measure, or the bottom number, tells you how many what note value gets the beat. So in 4/4, you would have 4 quarter notes essentially. 4 quarter notes, and even sometimes it is actually written and denoted as 4 with a quarter note underneath it in some scores. So that is a key to remember when you're studying note values, is the time signature of what note is being modified. Now, if we're in 4/4, which means 4 beats per measure and the quarter note gets the beat, that means the whole note is made up of 4 quarters, essentially. So that would make it the long tone, that would make it 4 beats. And it would take up the whole measure, since the measure is designated only to have 4 beats within the measure. Then you go to the next one. Next one is half of that, and it's called the half note. This in 4/4 is equal to 2 counts. Quarter note, whole note is equal to 4 counts, which is the whole measure. Half note is 2 counts. So you would count at 1, 2. And then the rest of it is a rest, which means there's no beats being played. It's all silence. So whole note equals 4 counts. It takes up the whole measure. Half note is 2 counts. The next one is the quarter note. And that gets 1 count. Remember we talked about 4/4 and 4 beats per measure, and the quarter note gets the beat. This quarter note is that unit. And as you can see on the screen, there are 4 quarter notes. So each of these would get 1 beat. So you would count this as 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's your counts here. So to recap, the whole note is 4 counts, which means it's a whole. Think of a fraction. The quarter note is 1/4 of the measure. So that would mean each of these is 1/4 of the whole note. And the whole note altogether would have 1, 2, 3, 4 on it. All counts would be on that note, and you would just hold it for 4 counts. On the half note, you would have it divided up into groups of 2, since there are 2 quarter notes within one half note. So it'd be 1, 2, and if I were to put another note here, another half note, which I'm going to do right now, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's how you would count these, each of these. So you got your whole note, 1, 2, 3, 4 all at once, but you hold it for 4 counts. You got your half note, which is 2 counts each, with 2 quarter notes each in them. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you have your quarter note, which is the unit in 4/4 that is being talked about, and that is 4 quarter notes, and it is counted like 1, 2, 3, 4. Now there's an even greater subdivision of notes, and that is the 8th note. So this divides up the quarter note into little halves, or ands, if you will. This equals 1/8 of the quarter note. Think of fractions when you do this. Quarter note is 1/4. Half note is 1/2, 1/2. And the whole note is 4/4, which is 1 whole. Well, if you go to 8th notes, you go from 4 to 2 to 1 count to half a count, or half a beat. This would mean that each 8th note, hence the word, is 1/8 of the whole note, 1/8 of the measure. So what you would count that as is 1, a little plus sign for the and, or an ampersand, so 1 and, 2 and, 3 and, 4 and. So you would count each of those 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that is the breakdown of the simple note values. I have another video, 2 videos after this, that explains in a different way the whole note value breakdown. If you have any questions whatsoever during this time, please feel free to consult the Q&A section. If you'd like me to put another video in here further explaining the system and how it works, you're more than welcome to suggest it. I'm open to suggestions, and I will see you in the next video. The next video talks in further detail about different valued notes, especially the dotted half note and what the dot does to a note. So stay tuned.